Hawaii is nearing legal prohibition of drones for fishing. This is a new regulation they're trying to enforce that will prohibit the use of drones for fishing unless permitted by the Department
How are
of
drones
Natural Land
used in
Resources.
fishing?
So currently, the way that they're doing this is they're attaching the line to the drone, and they're taking it out past the surf, and then they're dropping it off the drone so they can fish out past the surf where you would normally it would be difficult to cast.
Huh.
And for some reason, which I don't understand at all, they're saying it's unfair and a threat to traditional methods when you can use any rod you want and you can take a boat. I mean, there's so many different ways.
I mean, you could take a boat right out past the surf and then fish out there. So,
yeah,
I don't know, but
yeah, it doesn't. To me, it doesn't make a lot of sense at all. But they are trying to enforce this. But it seems like this is probably going to be permit based. So they're probably doing this to try to make money off the people who are doing it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Government's always got to get their cut. So they're not doing anything like harassing whales with drones or dropping bait. All they're doing is they're using the drone instead of going whoosh. I mean, could they use a slingshot? Could they use no, it's not okay.
Like they make a powered rod. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems dumb.
I mean, lots of things seem dumb.
Yeah.
Especially laws. But I don't understand. Like, then what? You drop the bobber, the floater, right? The hook is hanging down in the water, and then you've got the line coming back to you on the shore. Yeah,
that's correct.
Is it just like floating in the water? What's happening to your line?
I mean, you're deep sea fishing, so it depends on what you're fishing for. But I mean, it probably is it's not on a bobber, but it depends on what you're fishing for.
Is it just sitting there, laying on the bottom of the ocean?
Can be like, yeah. You ever fished in the ocean?
No.
Yeah, you take a rod and you just chunk it, and then it goes out, and then you put a weight on the end, and then you put some, and then you I don't know. So you have a weight at the bottom. That's the way I always used to fish in the ocean. And then you put hooks up like here, and then you put a hook up here, and then you put a hook up here. So the weight sits down here, but the bait is floating 1 feet, 2 feet, 3 feet off the bottom.
What?
And the fish will come by and eat the hooks.
So instead of floating on the surface, which I guess that makes sense, there's all the waves and shit. The bait is floating, and you've got to wait, and the hooks go up from the bottom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then sometimes you put like colors or whatever. I mean, it depends on what you're fishing for. But
I just learned that you have fish in the ocean, so I didn't even know that. Have you fished off a boat? What, you fished off the beach?
Fishing is probably in the top 5 of things I know how to do.
Yeah. I didn't know this. All this time I've known you.
I grew up in Florida, so I grew up fishing.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Fishing in the ocean. But I didn't know when you fish, you fish off the bottom.
Yeah, freshwater and saltwater. It depends on what you're fishing for, but most of the time you're going to be fishing off the bottom, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Now it makes more sense that the line and then how do you know when you've got a bite? Like, normally you feel the tug on the line.
Yeah, they're big fish out there. I mean, most of the time.
Okay. Then what happens once you hook one?
You're not catching a bass. Yeah.
I mean, if you're on a boat, you reel it in and you bring it on the boat. If you're on the beach, you just kind of drag it up the beach.
And yeah, it can be a real bitch because they'll run miles down one way or the other, and there's not like a lot of.
Oh my God! Yeah, they're going that way, and you're on a pier or something, and they're like,
if you're catching sharks and stuff, it can be 30 minutes to an hour or more where you're sitting there trying to get that rod in. If you're using, and that's why you use so you use like a leader. If you're fishing for sharks, you'll use a leader, so the shark can't bite the leader. It's like a metal wire essentially that you use where the hook's on the wire.
Yeah, so it doesn't just bite through the wire.
Yeah, and if you have a leader on the line and you're not like going to lose it from structure or something, you could fight for an hour. I mean, you got to wear the shark out.
Wow, that's really something. Yeah. Okay. Well, now it makes more sense. That's really something. I think
fishing
with we all learned something today. I didn't know any of that. That's really interesting. Yeah. All right. So drone fishing in Hawaii. You're gonna have to pay your cut. That's the takeaway.